Okay, hello everyone. This is Fabian from Willet, and we are going to do our review of the 3DS, or first impression review of the 3DS. It's actually just 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday 27th, and we just came back from the store from buying the 3DS. So we're gonna open this one to see what comes from in the box. I mean, we all know what comes in the box from all the press releases, but we're gonna actually have our first look at what's in the box. Okay, so we have a first tray, and we have the manual, and this is a huge manual actually. Probably the biggest manual I've seen in any console so far yet. Probably in different languages. It's almost like a mini phone book right here. Yeah, operation manual in French and Spanish as well. Looks pretty comprehensive, so we're just gonna put this on the side for the moment. And it also has the Mi Plaza. I guess a short manual of what Mi Plaza is about. Also the Street Pass component. This one is actually in French, and this is the one in Spanish. Now there is also a quick start guide, and the quick start gives you charge your system and turn the power on, configure your basic system settings, play the game card on a game card, play a game on a game card, and connect to the internet. Just the basic setup, in case you don't feel like reading the big manual. And again, you have the exact same thing for also French and Spanish as well. And your typical documentation, Club Nintendo, and the subscription to Nintendo Power magazine. Now here's the interesting one. Here's the AR card games, and let's open this one. And we've all seen the one that is always advertised, but apparently it comes also with different. It has 6 different AR cards. And what I can see in the cover, let's see which ones it has actually. It has, here's your typical one that is always advertised in press releases and television. It also has a Mario AR card, a Link. This one is a Toon Link, as you know from Wind Waker and Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. And it also has a Kirby AR card, a Samus, and a Pikmin AR card. So it'll be interesting to see later on what kind of games these extra AR cards have. Here is the charger. It looks pretty close to the charger of the DSi, and actually even the input jack looks very similar to it. So I wonder if it's actually compatible with it or not, or it's just the shape of it. But we'll find out sometime later. Here is what seems to be the docking charge. This is the docking charge where you can charge your 3DS. Plastic seems very sturdy plastic. Not so bad. And the main attraction of this event right here. Here we have our first look to the 3DS. And as you can see, the 3DS is the blue one. It has some metallic color. You can't really tell on the camera that well, but it has a metallic finish and kind of changes tonality with the light. It's pretty cool actually. And here's the inside of it. Here you have your typical buttons, the X, Y, A, and B. The 2 shoulder buttons, they are much smaller than the DSi ones, and actually they feel more firm than your DSi ones. It has a gloss finish, which if you're a picky person like me, it's gonna kind of stink later down the road because you're gonna have fingerprints all over this puppy really fast. Here's the infrared sensor and the input charger, enough to charge your DSi, your 3DS. Here is the stylus, the telescopic stylus. It's really nice actually. It's metal, and we have here the analog DS pad. It actually feels really nice. It has a really nice spring to it, and it's firm. It's not that flimsy at all, so it gives it a nice nice feeling. And the directional pad right here. Here's the select, home, and start buttons, and they're actually slightly raised. So those complaints that some reviewers might have had that they don't feel raised, they do actually feel raised. So you can feel the difference in the touch. So I don't see any problem with them. Here's what it seems to be the a headphone or microphone input. Here's the volume slider, which is not bad. It's nice and firm. And here's the wireless slider, and here is the 3D slider. Yeah. And here's the SD card slot with the 2 GB SD card by Toshiba. Okay. And if you want to have a quick comparison, we can bring our DSi over here. And here's our old DSi next to it. As you can tell, the bottom screen is roughly smaller than the DSi's. It seems like it will be closer in comparison to a DS Lite. And let me see what we have now. We have a DS Lite somewhere around here, so we can make a comparison to it. So here we have a DS Lite, and it's actually roughly the size of the DS Lite. So the bottom screen is basically the same size as the old DS Lite. Now the top screen, as you can tell, is, as you know, is the white screen. You can't really tell right now because everything is black on the top, and that one is definitely, obviously it is wider than the original DSi because it's obviously a white screen. However, it is actually shorter in height than the DSi. So I guess I don't know what to say. I mean, just, you know, shorter in height, but it definitely obviously wider. And on top, on the very top, this time the camera is being positioned on the top of the DSi top section, as opposed to in the middle where traditionally was. And here is a little hole right here, which I'm assuming is the microphone, perhaps, and the power button over here. Okay, so let's see what instructions say in regard to charging for the first time. It's always good to follow instructions because it ensures that your battery would last the longest. All right. Okay, there isn't really a time specified to charge the DS for the first time, so we will just simply put in the dock, and according to the Nintendo website, the charge time of the DSi is about 3.5 hours. So we're just gonna plug it in and let it charge the suggested time, and then we'll just come back later to show you the first setup of the 3DS. Until then, see you in a few hours.